What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Tuesday team here. And JD, let me take a second. It's been a long time since we've said our normal Tuesday team here, because we are back 5 days a week. As you guys can tell, we are here on a Tuesday, which we haven't been. So we're excited to be here 5 days a week. JD, how are you today, brother?
Doing really well, man. This actually morning I had a nice 3-0 tennis sweep. So that just gets your day going great, man.
Where are they playing tennis this time of the year? What continent?
They're in Madrid.
Hefe, trivia for you. Where is Madrid? It's kind of like bringing back our college. Where's that college located?
The town of Madrid's in Spain.
Very good, very good. Well done, Hefe. Madrid is in Spain. Over to you. How are you today, brother? You're on fire. You're on fire. How are you today?
We call that the Western Hemisphere.
You're nailing. No, wait. I'm not going to go.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought. How are you today?
North of the equator.
I don't. Are you gonna tell us how you're doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. Let's just get right into it real quick. I'm not going to answer every single comment that you guys send today. I understand that you guys are just sitting at your computers, just so ready to just go crazy. It's one game, game 2 of a 7-game series. I'm truly unconcerned, and I don't really have many worrying emotions. I'm kind of feeling just fine. Had a bad game. Pistons had a bad game too. And you know what? It happens. You're not going to win them all.
Yeah, it was a tough game. We'll get into that in a few. We go over a little bit of our recap. But before we do, J-Bo put it perfectly. I owe everybody something. I honor my bets. So we're going to get rid of you. Nobody wants to see you. We're going to get rid of you. Nobody wants to see you even more. And now the star of the show is here. Buck, 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 buck. All right, let's get everybody back. Cluck bet has been honored. That was for the Nuggets-Clippers game, unless you guys missed the show yesterday. I was on the Nuggets. These two bozos were on the Clippers, and those two bozos ended up incorrect. So I honored my cluck bet, and we move on. I'm sure we'll have more of those in the near future because the set of this show absolutely loves watching the other guys on this show look like an idiot and cluck in front of all of you. So that one's been honored. First one in a while. Hefe, I'm going to go back to you. Because now's the time you're supposed to bitch about the Knicks. Jake, where are you in the comments? Joe, where are you in the comments? We've been waiting for you guys. We all know what happened in last night's game. The Knicks lost to the Pistons. The series is now tied 1-1, and that's what everyone wants to hear the recap on. So, Hefe, I need a little more from you rather than I'm feeling okay.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. Good. It is only one game. Everything is good. I think that teams are allowed to play bad games. I think that the Knicks will play much better in game 3. It comes down to a couple things. I hated the rotation in the second half. I thought our head coach Tom Thibodeau stuck way too much with the starters instead of realizing that some players just didn't have their best game last night. Cat is one of them. He had a terrible game. He needs to play better. Josh Hart looked lost, and I feel like every single pass he made was erratic and like in the midst of chaos. OG Anunoby did not play a full good game. Mikal Bridges, I actually don't have anything bad to say about him. You have to make that 3, but he played a good game. And Brunson put the team on his back as he always does. But just like I say about every other team, you're never going to win a game when it's just one guy that shows up. We all knew that Cade was going to show up last night, and boy, did he. But what we did not count on is Dennis Schroeder coming in with 20 off the bench, which is ultimately the difference in this game. Look, Beasley had a bad game. Tim Hardaway just came for a track meet. He scored 0 points, over 6 with 3-point range.
Which is more of the game we expected out of Hardaway compared to the first game that he had.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this. I'm embarrassed that we lost the rebounding battle in the way that we did. I'm embarrassed that we got out-bullied and out-hustled, honestly.
Yeah.
Cat just looked like he was so more worried about getting calls than playing defense, and that right there is a microcosm of the game of last night, in my opinion. The Knicks were way more concerned with barking at the ref after no calls than getting back in transition defense, and that really hurt them so many times. I'm not going to call it a ref show, but the first half being a 16-3 free throw differential is bonkers.
I agree.
In the second half, it got cleaned up. I mean, you saw that Thompson twin. I don't know if they should play him anymore. He was absolutely out of sorts and almost ruined the game.
He was unplayable. He was
unplayable, almost ruined the game for them. But at the end of the day, the Knicks did not play good defensively down the stretch. They made bonehead mistake after bonehead mistake, way too many turnovers for a team that in the regular season did not do that. And other than Brunson, there was no offense to be found, and the Knicks are really missing Dante DiVincenzo right now. Somebody who can come in and just be an energizer bunny from 3-point range. Because the name of the game in the playoffs is taking your guy one-on-one, getting Delvin, get to the paint, and tossing it out to the arc for somebody to shoot a wide open three. The Knicks did not make their wide open threes last night.
Yep.
I don't understand why Campaign only got 4 minutes in the game when he was really played great in game one. But at the end of the day, this is a 7-game series. It's tied 1-1. Game 3 is on Thursday. We'll talk about it ad nauseum on Thursday during the show. But I'm not worried. It's not like the Pistons are beating the brakes off us. In fact, they should have won last night by 15 plus. The fact that we tied it at 94-94 with like a minute to go is mind-boggling to me.
Shouldn't have happened. I agree.
We have not played well at all. And look, neither of the Pistons, but we are better than them at our best. And I believe 2 days off, Tom Thibodeau will have to readjust, and he will come into game 3. I'm going to say this one time right now, and then we can move on. Karl-Anthony Towns will have a big game 3. I guarantee it.
I think we will as well. One quick thing I do want to add is I think that JB Bickerstaff made some great adjustments for this Pistons team, and I don't think Tom Thibodeau for the New York Knicks made any adjustments in-game, pre-game, going into the game, anything, and I think the Knicks were fully out-coached. The one thing to me that stood out at home, Dennis Schroeder hit the big shot. Mikal Bridges missed the big shot. That was the big difference in the game. Game came down to 2 shots. They hit it. We didn't. That's how it went down. All right, boys. We have a big show today, and we have a special guest coming in just a little while as well. So we want to get as many breakdowns as we can in early for you guys. Gentlemen, you ready to get into the MLB slate for Tuesday, April 22nd?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, boys. First game we're breaking down today is going to be the Padres taking on the Tigers. Give me 1 second because I stupidly opened 2 of the one game we're breaking down and not. So I have it up here. Pitching matchup for the Padres. We have Nick Pivetta on the bump. He's 3-1 on the year with a 1.57 ERA. Padres are coming into this game 16-7 on the year. However, they are 4-6 on the road, and they are on the road today. For the Tigers, they're 14-9 and 9-2 at home. They are home, so in a good spot for a 9-2 team. On the bump, they have Jack Flaherty. They re-signed him in the offseason. Very strong pitcher for them. He's 1-1 on the year with a 2.5 ERA. Hefe, we're going to start with you. ESPN rates this game as a true 50-50 call, and the odds are basically the same as that as well. Who do you like in the Padres versus the Tigers this afternoon?
A little bit confused. Why? Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. I mean, I guess when you look at the last few games, Padres have entered what I guess you could call a rough patch. In their last 4 games, they're 1-3. 2 of the, but I don't see this as like a big hurdle for them to get over. Tigers honestly playing really well at home. They've had 5 straight games at home. They're 4-1 at home. So I understand even with this pitching matchup being where it is, which I think it kind of favors the Padres.
Yes,
it
definitely.
Still is in theory. I mean, I'm seeing this one as a straight up toss up right now. It was -110 just 30 or so minutes ago. Now I'm seeing that it's closer to the Tigers being -120 and the Padres being at even plus 100 odds.
Yep.
But I'm rolling with the Padres here, where I think I'm not going to get really deep into it. They're just a better team. But that is the better pitcher, 3-1 with 1.57 ERA. Padres are the better hitting team overall, and I think they get back to that. So give me the Padres at plus 100. Kind of a little gift, in my opinion.
There we go. JD, what do you got?
Man, I'm on the exact same page here. As far as the Tigers go, at home, they are 9-2. And that's why I think we are getting this price. That's the only thing that I can possibly come up with because I have this game priced at Padres favorite at -142. So to me, they should be a clear favorite here. As far as the starter, they have an edge there. As far as the bullpen, they have a big edge there.
Yes.
And actually then as far as the lineup, they have an edge there also. If you're going to give me an edge like across the board there, and actually give me them at an underdog price, I believe you can currently get a plus 102. Sign me up.
Let's make it a three-way, gentlemen, because I am on the Padres with you guys. Yesterday, I was on the show yesterday. So we were talking about the over. We were talking about the Padres. I ended up going with the over. Posted it as one of my free plays of the day. We cashed that. So happy, J-Bo. I see in the comments you rode that with me. Glad we were able to cash that over. In this game, I do think a big performance will come from the Padres. I do not think they're going to lose the first two games of this series. They have the pitching advantage, as the boys have said. They also have a huge advantage in the bullpen, as JD said perfectly. I'm not going to take up any more time at a plus 100. There's definitely value on that play. Give me the Padres. I absolutely love it here. All right, boys, we're going to keep it moving. Second game we're breaking down today is going to be an NL East showdown between the Phillies and the Mets. The Phillies are coming into this game 13-10 on the year with a losing record on the road. They are 4-6 on the road, taking on a Mets team that is 10-1 at home. They're 16-7 on the year, but 10-1 at home, and they are home yet again against this Phillies team tonight. Pitching matchup here. I think it favors the Phillies. We have Christopher Sanchez on the bump for the Phils. He's 2-0 on the year with a 3.0 ERA. In 24 innings of work, he's allowed 22 hits, 6 walks, and 4 homers. On the other side, Griffin Canning has been very good for this team, surprisingly. He's 2-1 on the year with a 3.4 ERA. In 21 innings of work, he has a 1.3 whip, which is 18 hits to 10 walks and 2 homers. JD, we haven't started with you. We got the Phillies. We got the Mets, two teams you know well as being a big supporter of the Braves. You know a lot about this division. What do you like in this game?
Shout out Braves. Have won 4 straight games now.
Thought you'd like that.
Nobody's talking about that.
But, yeah, man, as far as this game, this is another game where the home team is been very, very good. The Mets at home this year are 10-1. This is a game where, though, as far as the Mets, as far as their starter, Griffin Canning here, his numbers this year don't look bad, but I don't think those are going to stay there.
Exactly what I said in the intro. I agree with you.
Yeah, he's definitely going to start getting hit. On the other side for the Phillies, though, as far as Sanchez, he's a guy that I normally like to back at home. Yeah, to me, I don't have anything here. I think that this is priced well. Phillies probably should be a little bit bigger of a favorite, but because, like I said, the Mets have been so good at home, it just really here to me comes down as far as the Mets, as far as the Mets actual pitching goes, is can they keep it up? And I don't think they are. It's just when are they not going to? So
I agree. I think we're waiting on the right time for this starting rotation to come back down to earth because they have the number 1 ERA for starting rotations in baseball right now. When you take a look at this Mets starting rotation, top to bottom, you wouldn't expect this to carry out for the entirety of the season. So I agree with you there. For this specific game, I absolutely love the Mets on the money line. I think there's a ton of value on the dog in this spot. You can currently get that at a plus 115. To me, it's more than just the pitching matchup. I do give the Phillies the pitching matchup slightly here, the pitching edge. But when it gets to the bullpen, when it gets late in games, as long as the Mets can keep this one within 1 to 2 runs by the 5th, 6th inning, I think they take over late here. We all saw in the last series with this Phillies team when they versed the Marlins that they just kept giving up a ton of runs late in games. They won a couple of them, but they also lost a couple of them because that bullpen is basically been atrocious all year long. I do think that's going to continue, and the Mets have just way too much firepower on the offense right now. They're hitting from top to bottom in the order. Pete Alonso is right now the 3rd best hitter in the NL by almost every statistical category. Lindor is finally starting to hit. He had a big homer yesterday, and Juan Soto is even starting to break out of his early season slump and get it rolling. So I'm all over this Mets team on the money line. Definitely one of my best bets today. Hefe?
This is it's interesting. I mean, I don't have an official play, but I think the Phillies here. I can't imagine Griffin Canning's going to keep having good outings here. He just doesn't have it like that, in my opinion. And the truth's got to come out sooner rather than later. And meanwhile, on the other side, I feel the same way about the Phillies in their lineup. I need more consistent hitting from them.
Yep.
I need more consistent play for them overall. Forget the lineup, pitching, bullpen, hitting, situational hitting, everything. This is a Phillies team that has big aspirations. They have big players all over this lineup and in the bullpen. They've got a lot of money on this team. They should be playing better than they are. This is a big spot for the Mets. Have won 5 games in a row. They're an exceptional home team, as you already mentioned. Pete Alonso, possible right now that if you could tell me, he might be number one in NL MVP voting. Very, very possible.
Yeah.
And that is pretty damn ironic that when you look at the last 2 off seasons, and how basically the Mets gave every inclination of not wanting him. And
they didn't want him.
All right, fine. We'll take you, man. Just shut up, all right? Just tell Boris to stop calling us, please.
Literally.
And like now look at him. He is their most consistent and best hitter. And he is giving, if he continues this, you know who's going to benefit the most is Juan Soto.
Him. You know who's going to benefit the most? Pete Alonso. For him, I'm very happy he didn't take the deal, one of those 3-4 year deals the Mets were offering.
Does he have what option does he have this season?
He can opt out after this year. He can opt out after this season.
Then that's a humongous deal. I'm going to tell you right now, if Pete has any balls, I don't care if the Mets throw $300 million at him, he takes somebody else's offer.
I agree. They didn't want him. They made him out to be the villain when he literally is going to go down. I think it's in 1 or 2 months from now. He's going to be the all-time home runs leader for the Mets. They didn't even want him back. Hefe knows. We have some people in our inner circle that are big Mets fans, and all offseason I would text them, why don't you guys want Pete Alonso back? I don't comprehend it. Why do you want him to go elsewhere? And they were so in for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Every Met fan I knew, all they wanted was Vladdy Jr. Don't you want to keep your own guy, a homegrown Met like Pete, who's going to go down probably with his jersey retired in that stadium? You want to get rid of him? Don't get me started. Typical Mets fans.
Have never, listen to this. I listen to a lot of like radio here locally, and the Mets have never had like a true lifelong.
Yeah. I mean, David, right? But
no, but like, I guess, but
not long enough. It wasn't long enough.
He was so injured. It wasn't long enough. They never had that player that came up through their system, stayed with them. Then when he came to free agency, they signed him to that big contract, and he retired a Met.
Yep.
You know, pretty much every team in the league, I think in all leagues, probably has one of those. And the Mets always, for some reason, either let that person get away or they take that person from, another team.
Yeah, like a Lindor, like a Soto, guys they bring in for long-term deals to run their team are not original Mets.
Yeah. Even back in the day when they won the World Series, Keith Hernandez came from the Cardinals. Joe Carter didn't come from the Mets. Strawberry and
came from the Yankees.
Were lifelong Mets until they let him go for good reasons, I'd say. But
I would agree.
Just prove them up. But anyway,
I appreciate that. Good talk there, man. Well, you're wrong on that, but I do agree with most of your Mets takes. Let's keep it rolling, gentlemen. Next, what we're going to be going over today is we're going to be getting into 2 NBA games. So, gentlemen, we're going to dive right into the first NBA game we're going over on the slate tonight, which is going to be Dame Time is back for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're taking on the Indiana Pacers. The game is in Indiana tonight, game 2 of the series. The line has shifted a little bit. Pre-game was a -4.5 to -5 for the Pacers. The line has moved a full point. It's down to an even 4 with the news that Damian Lillard will be playing. Just as a reminder, if anybody forgot, the first game of the series was on Saturday, and it ended 117 to 98 for the Pacers. They won by nearly 20 points. Is the return of Damian Lillard enough to help this Bucks team compete in the series and potentially even steal a game in Indy? Hefe, we're going to start with you. What do you got?
It may be enough to make it competitive, but it won't be tonight. I think, listen, first of all, let's get this out of the way. To come back from a serious blood clot in this amount of time is nothing short than a medical miracle.
Agreed.
From what I've read, I am no doctor, but that's crazy. But that's crazy.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Because that's usually something that keeps you out. A calendar, you have to get so many medical clearances to get back on the court. I just hope everything's good and he's not just pushing them for a playoff run.
I was just about to say, I think that he signed one of those things that says like, hey,
a liability
if I
waiver.
die on the court, like,
yeah. The problem is, JD, I thought the same thing, but like the NBA would have to get involved and they would put the kibosh on it immediately.
Yeah,
but
immediately. It can't happen.
JD, that thought did come to mind. I was like, maybe they were like, listen, we think you're fine, but usually we make, people kind of rest for 3 months and then test them again. And he's like, whatever you need me to. But no.
If Dame died on the court, I mean, come on.
Okay, I understand. But blood clots are super serious. Anyway,
that's exactly
that being
right.
said,
Right. Exactly.
There is no way he goes out there and plays 30-plus minutes tonight. That's not happening. He's going to be on a minutes restriction. And if I saw anything in game 1 from the Bucks, it's the absolute Giannis show. And we talked about this at nauseum. You cannot win in the playoffs when only one guy takes 70% of your shots and scores 70% of your points. And Giannis literally did just that on Saturday. 36 points. He was the only player who scored 15 or more points on the team. Meanwhile, the Pacers had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players contribute, including 2 big players off the bench. Nembhard had 17. What the hell's up with him? He's become one of those players that now
he's a player.
Two postseasons in a row where he turns it up a notch. And then, obviously TJ McConnell, who I'm so certain TJ McConnell does not play a single minute in the regular season and only plays in postseason. It's incredible. And then Halliburton had a terrible game offensively, over 7 from 3, 10 points. They didn't even need him. The Pacers are deep. The Pacers believe in themselves. And I do think the Bucks need a game to kind of get Dame back into the fold. Game 3, I think this series becomes a lot more interesting. Tonight, I'm rolling with the Pacers on the spread.
I'm in the same boat you are. I don't think Dame is going to log big minutes. He hasn't played in over a month, guys, and it's very hard to get your conditioning up to a playoff atmosphere without being able to really do anything with that blood clot. So to me, I don't exactly think that Dame's going to be a major factor in this game. I think he'll have his moments, as he always does, but when it comes down to the final score, him being in the game doesn't alter the way I think this game is going to go. One thing I wanted to ask you, Hefe, about this Pacers team. Are they the one starless team in the NBA that has it going? They're talented 1 through 5 in their starters. They have a great bench as well. You went over it. They have Ben Mathern down there, TJ Broconnell, who comes in and plays his ass off every postseason. The only player who had a bad game for them was Obi Toppin. He had a -16 plus-minus. Every starter had an over +20 except for Aaron Nesmith. He didn't play a ton of minutes. But this team, to me, doesn't have a true star. Yes, Halliburton's a good player. He's not a star, in my opinion. Pascal's a good player. He's not a star. Miles Turner, decent player, not a star. But this team, when they play together and everything's clicking with some very strong coaching, they play like they're a team full of stars. Do you think that they're the best team that doesn't really have a star in the playoffs right now, Hefe?
No, they have a star.
Do you think Halliburton's a star?
I think he is a little Jekyll and Hyde. But I think when he plays his best brand of basketball, he is a star and he could lead that team. But do I think it's a little more a committee approach for the Pacers? Yes. I think they're deep. They have a good bench.
Very good bench.
And I think last year they got that experience that they needed that they were missing, right? They were able to stay in series. They were able to go through adversity as we saw versus the Knicks. I'm sorry. And I think they're also getting a fantastic matchup right now with the Bucks, who are just kind of one of those teams that's like half their heads like, we can win this. Half this head is like, why? We're kind of at the end of this train, and this might be our last, stop of this iteration of this Bucks team.
It is. I've told you this all year long. The 2024/2025 NBA season will be the last year that Giannis is on the Minnesota Bucks. Jesus, the Milwaukee Bucks. I do think this is his last run with this team. It does appear it's time for him to reset. The Bucks need a full reset, and they can't reset with him on the roster. They need to trade him for an absorbent amount of picks and capital and rebuild this team the right way. I don't like what they did. They got a guy like Kyle Kuzma. We all saw what he did in the opening game. They need to play a lot better. But, JD, we're going to go over to you. What do you like in this game?
Gonna keep this one really quick. I have absolutely nothing here. This is a game that I want to stay very far away from. There are just other plays tonight that I really like, and in this game, I just want to stay away. If I had to play it, I would have to lean Bucks, and I would have to lean over.
I respect it. All right, boys, we have one more game, and then we have a special guest coming on in just over 7 minutes. We want to make sure we get you guys as many plays as possible today. So the final game we're breaking down is going to be the banger in the NBA. I think it's the game everybody's most looking forward to on tonight's slate. The Minnesota T-Wolves and the LA Lakers. Everybody knows how the first game of the series went. The T-Wolves won 117-95. They absolutely blew them out. That game did not feel like a game in the second half at all. The T-Wolves felt in total control the entire second half of that game. Now, was that a fluke performance? This Lakers team's been great since that Luka Doncic trade this season. They're 31-10 at home, like we alluded to in the first breakdown of this series. Will they get it back together and win a home playoff game and take the series back to 1-1? JD, we haven't started with you. We'll start with you. What do you got?
As far as this game, have a big play here. I have a game that I have a play that I really like.
Tell us about it.
But I'm going to talk about a prop here, though. I'm actually going to go prop here for this game. But as far as this series goes, I'm still going to say Timberwolves in 6 games. They're still what I am going to stick with here. But tonight, prop one I absolutely love. The guy that we all know, our guy, Jaden McDaniels. I like his over rebounds prop. You can actually get that over 5.5 at plus 125. Versus this Lakers team this like season, he has gotten at least 8 every single game. In game 1, minutes wise, he actually played for 33. And actually that was with the game, just kind of like you were talking about. Alpha wasn't a game. It wasn't even a game. So I actually expect tonight it to be more of a game. So I'm expecting him to at least play that much. And honestly, the Lakers just don't have the size. And actually, that's why I love this prop so much. And he's a rebound guy. Really goes after them on actually both ends. So I just think this line is set way too low. I actually laddered this up to 10 plus at actually plus 12, plus 1,200. Yep.
Love that. And guys, if you want more about this ladder, we want more on how JD is playing this, make sure you get into the MoneyBall Metrics Discord. It's the best Discord out there. You guys will have a ton of fun, and we are absolutely crushing the books in the Discord right now. So make sure you guys get in the Discord, take advantage of that. JD, I love that play for you. No side in the game for you, just the prop.
I have a max play here, and I'm gonna have to save that one though.
JD's holding back from you guys. Maybe if you're nice to him, everyone's very sweet to him and kind. Maybe, just maybe, he'll DM you the play with one of those types of posts later. So I'll dive in here next, guys. I'm going to be on the Lakers here in this spot. I do think they are going to be able to roll in this game. This is a big game in this series. If the Lakers lose this one, I believe they will lose in 4 or 5 games easily. They must get this one, and they must have a statement win. We've seen Luka Doncic in the playoffs when his team has their back against the wall. He comes alive and has some of the biggest games imaginable. They also have LeBron James on that team as well. I believe the first game was a bit of a fluke. I do think we will see a much better Lakers performance here. So give me the Lakers with the points. I think they win this one by close to double digits, if not over that double digit threshold, and we are able to get this one back to a 1-1 series. Hefe, what you got?
This is simple. In my opinion, the Wolves going into this game with the money in their pocket. They know they already stole home court advantage. They just want to get back to Minnesota. To the Lakers, this might as well be game 7. Yeah. You do not want to go back to Minnesota and deal with that team, that home crowd, down 2-0. Lakers should come out today, and it's the same story that I've been trying to say. You cannot win. And honestly, Luka Doncic is who I literally make this theory about. You cannot win NBA playoff games with just playing hero ball. It just doesn't work. These teams are better. It's more situational. It's more about possessions. They can easily call timeout and figure out that that's your game plan and just double, unless you're the Knicks, because then you don't double. You just let Cade just do it all game long.
I was going to say, we just saw Jalen Brunson try and do that, and you're right. We did see the Knicks lose playing hero ball.
I'm fine. Anyway, Luka Doncic is not the problem here. The problem is LeBron scored 19. LeBron, I'm sorry, I expect more out of you. Yep. Hachimura, welcome to the playoffs. Show up. Austin Reeves, welcome to the playoffs. Show up. Every other player on Lakers bench, welcome to the playoffs. It's time to show up. You made Nasri look like an all-star. You made Jaden Daniels look like an all-defensive player and an all-NBA player. And Edwards was able to take the game off. Julius Randle honestly had a pretty good game from three-point range. He did what he had to do. DiVincenzo had a terrible game. Rudy Gobert was on the sidelines. He was in the stands. He didn't even have to play. All right? You have to make the Timberwolves one-dimensional like they made you. Make it an Ant Edwards game. Just let him go up for 40, but make sure that the arc is covered so the others don't have wide open shots, especially freaking Nas Reed. Look, unbeatable. God, Nas Reed would be such a good Nick.
Okay, we're not gonna call everyone a Nick, but I do want to say one thing about this. Kind of basing it on
Lakers minus 5.5. Sorry, that's my play.
We knew where you're going with that, with the way you worded it. But the Lakers bench needs to do a lot more. The only player on the Lakers bench who had more than 3 points was Dalton Connect, and he played 3 minutes in the game. He had 5. Gabe Vincent logged 25 minutes and had 3 points. Jared Vanderbilt logged 15 minutes, had 2 points. Dorian Finney-Smith, not even sure you're a real freaking human being. You logged 33 minutes, had 3 points, and had a negative 11 plus minus. You were just out there doing cardio. So the guys they have on the bench really need to step up. They need somebody to provide something. So I do think the Lakers will have a big game, and I think they're going to have a big, big spot. Christian is saying here in the comments, that's a new name here. Welcome, Christian. We appreciate you. Lakers are going to smoke today. Wolves are terrible at home and great on the road. Interesting take. We will have to see how this one does play out. All right, gentlemen. As we said, we have a very, very special guest who should be with us momentarily. Before they get there, we do want to get you guys our best bets before we go over our special presentation. JD, Hefe, you ready to dive into our best bets for today, Tuesday, April 22nd? Let's rock and let's roll. And let's rock and roll again. JD, best bets. What you got today?
Game we just talked about, Jaden McDaniels, over 5.5 rebounds at plus 125. And then give me the Padres. You mentioned them on the money line at plus 102.
Love that. Hefe, best bets.
Padres, I'm with JD. I feel like we're getting a gift. I hope it's a gift. And then Lakers are my second best bet. This is a humongous game too for them. I've explained why, and I really feel like they have way too much talent, way too much playoff just experience to fall down. Freaking LeBron's on the team. Give me Lakers.
I like that. I'll go over my best bets next, gentlemen. My 2 best bets for the day are going to be the Lakers minus the 5.5, and in the MLB, which we've been absolutely dominating, we're taking the Mets on the money line as a plus 115 dog. I do think the Mets are going to have a huge, huge performance, and that's exactly what I'm backing on tonight. Gentlemen, any other games you want to talk about before we get ready for our special presentation? Any other plays you guys want to talk about? Because there is a big announcement that we have. We are doing the NFL draft show, so I do want to let everybody know we will be doing that tomorrow, covering a ton of bets, covering a ton of different rumors we're hearing in the NFL draft world. Hefe, myself, and JD all love the NFL draft. It's one of the best events of the year. So we're going to be diving into detail tomorrow regarding it. Hefe?
So excited about tomorrow. Just want to let everybody know tomorrow we're going to do a very small slate on the actual games that are going to be played, and most of the show will be about the NFL draft. So come with NFL draft comments, questions. We're talking about the entire first round. We're not going to talk about every single pick and every single player, but we'll try to get as many as we can in. So, whether you're a fan of this team, that team, doesn't matter if you're picking anywhere from 1 to 30, give us a comment. We'll have something to say. We'll even talk maybe a little early second round in terms of who we think maybe big names will slide over, or more so teams that will have to trade back in to get players that maybe they want. Because as you should know, a player drafted in the first round, you control for 5 years. Yep. While a player in the second round, you only control for 4. In the NFL, that's gold.
Yep, especially the last couple picks of the first round. You guys see a ton. We saw with Lamar Jackson, last pick of the first round. Teams want to get quarterbacks in at the very end of the first round if they can. If you're a team sitting like the Browns at pick 33 in the second round, if you're the Giants at pick 34, you want to move up and get those guys a few slots earlier to get an extra year of control. We're going to break all that down tomorrow, and we're super excited for all of that. All right, boys.
There actually is a game that I want to bring up here, and that's the Giants game.
Just want to shut us down, huh? You just want to beat us down. The New York Knicks get killed. Now you want to talk how bad the New York Giants are. What do you want to do to West Jersey?
No, the San Francisco Giants. Yes, San Francisco Giants. They are a favorite here today, guys, at minus 135. The actual comeback on the actual Brewers is plus 115. This is one that I was going to spend a little more time with, so I'm just going to do it here with actually y'all here.
Might as well. Let's do it. I have it open.
I'm trying to figure out why the Brewers are actually not favored here.
It's one of those games, JD, where I saw it too because of the pitching matchup, and it's like I don't get it either. So
but do you believe in Quintana? I think Quintana is an example of people we talk about on the show all the time, JD, that are out pitching. Like we just talked about Griffin Canning, how we don't think he's a great pitcher. Quintana is not a 0.71 ERA pitcher.
No, but he's also not, I wouldn't say, as bad as some of those other guys.
I agree. I would agree.
But actually, like Jordan Hicks, for me, like I said, like he's like actually we've like talked about him him a few times now, and actually he's a fade.
Yeah, he might move into my top 5 gas can standings, and I hate to say it.
Want to make there.
Corbin,
you never want to make that
Corbin,
list.
Corbin might be moving out of it, which is something I could never say. By the way, Corbin night tonight. Not even looking at him because of how he started the year.
Guys, okay, yeah. As far as Corbin goes, I have a lot to say there.
We know how you feel about him.
Please go. The floor is yours.
Corbin is not as bad as people think he is.
I didn't think you were going to take that approach.
What type of crack do you have?
He's actually really not as bad. Now, when he was with the Nationals, what was that? 2 seasons ago now?
I thought it was last year.
Last year.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, it was 2 seasons ago when he was just getting smacked around every single game.
I legitimately think he was 1-14 or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, that game. Well, as far as on that team, is actually like as far as the other pitchers around him, they all pitched the exact same way. Like actually, like they had the exact same arm slot and actually everything. It was him, Gore. Oh gosh, the third left-hander is.
I'm gonna tell you right now, JD. If you could name me the third starting pitcher,
JD Hers, it wasn't like JD
national starting rotation.
HERZ. I have a comeback. I'm waiting for JD to get this out because I pulled up Patrick Corbin's last 5 years ERA, and let me tell you, there's not a single year under 5.
Maybe McKenzie.
Yeah, he's still there. He's a good pitcher for them. They got him in the Juan Soto trade.
But that was the whole thing. Is like when he was with them, like they all pitched back to back days. So actually, like Corbin being on the back end of like that, like actually teams were just used to like seeing that. So, like, that's what I think, like, actually that year made him, like, so bad. And actually, like, I'm not trying to say, like, actually, like, he's, like, great, or anything like that. But I just don't think yet. I just don't think he's as, like, bad as people think.
JD, come on. That is the number one gas can on the Hefe Picks gas can of the year ceremony.
Number one right now. Number one right now. No doubt about it. Cal Quantrill. Number one, numero uno. They're actually, I think I have to take a gap. There is no 2 because he's that bad.
There's number 2. It's Marcus Stroman, who we'll never see pitch again, and for the Yankees.
Maybe. How is Charlie Morton doing? Is he still? He's third, I think, on my list.
Charlie Morton, I think he's like 48 years old.
No.
He's
I think
third.
I'm saying, pretty sure Charlie Morton's third on my gas can list right now. I got to check if he's still terrible.
I think
100%.
Probably Carrasco has to be right there too.
Shut up, this guy JD only choosing Yankees.
Yeah, seriously, you're just gonna name the entire Yankee starting lineup for the Gas Can of the Year awards?
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Charlie Morton is number 2, 0-5, 10.89 ERA. He actually has worse numbers than Cal. But
he's 0-5.
He's 0. I'm looking. You can't even make this shit up. The only reason I'm keeping Cal is
that's insane.
Is because Cal's 91st in strikeouts in the league, along with his 0-4 and 8-point-something ERA. At least Morton has 21 Ks. Those are 1 and 2. I will consistently come on here every week and give you my top 3 at least.
100%. I love that. All right, boys. Well, JD, I believe we have our special guest. I just want to make sure he's ready to go. So while he does, if you want to check on that for us. Hefe, I did see a little news about your Devils. I'm not a hockey guy, but on this show, we breaking news all the time.
First of all,
whoever Luke Hughes is out tonight. So tell us who that is.
He's the lesser of the Hughes brothers, but the Devils are too injured in the right spots to compete with the Canes. It's a bad matchup for the Devils. I think the Canes are just going to take them easy. Could even be a gentleman's sweep. But I do want to talk about something last night. Man, oh man, what a game. 2 great games in the NHL playoffs. Capitals, Canadians, Ovechkin still got it, baby. Still got a game-winning goal. And Oilers-Kings was an amazing game. Oilers down 5-1, come all the way back tight, 5-5 with a minute left in the third, only for the Kings to take the lead late in regulation and get the win. I don't sleep on the Oilers in this series. I know the Kings are better than them, but the Oilers got 2 players in Draisaitl and obviously Connor McDavid that I think are 2 of the top 5 players in the NHL. When their backs against the wall, they're going to play their best hockey. Right now, though, the Jets look unbeatable in the West, and the East looks absolutely wide open. The NHL schedule is their playoffs the weirdest way. We have 3 game 2s tonight, and for no reason, a game 1. Why haven't the Panthers and the Lightning played yet? The playoffs started on Saturday. They've had 3 3 days to get this game one in. Makes no sense.
True that.
That's my
Well, there's our hockey breakdown. We absolutely love getting a hockey.
Do not take the Devils. The Devils are outmatched pretty much in every way with this Hurricanes team. This Hurricanes team's obviously also been here for many years. This Devils team is young. They're injured. They'll get their shit together in the offseason, and I think they'll be a great team coming up.
All right. I absolutely love that. All right, JD. I think our special guest is here. As long as he lets us know he's ready, we will bring him in here for a little presentation. JD, before we get him in here, do you have any other bets you want to give the people today? Is there a single bet? No explanation. Nothing needed. Is there another bet that you like? And I'll make it a better question for you. Is there anything bettable in this OKC game?
I would be, if I had to bet something, it would be a OKC team total over in actually some way, either actually first half or actually like full game. I actually need to actually look at it a little bit more. I just don't see this game really slowing down. So I mean, actually, yeah, like I think that's the only way.
This is Alpha. What do you feel like? I feel like this is there's no way the Grizzlies can lose by 50 points again, but they can never lose by 20.
There's no way I'm betting them. I'll tell you that. There's no way I'm betting that game. There's just no angle on that game that I feel confident taking. Joe in the chat is saying that he does like Hartenstein over 22.5 PRA. He cooked the Grizz and they didn't have an answer for him. Joe, you just love throwing it in our face today, huh? You really want us Knicks fans to be buried in the dirt. You're talking about our former center, who we all miss tremendously. But no, I'm joking. I do agree with you. I think Hartenstein is a fantastic player in this series. And 22.5 PRA is far too low for a guy with his abilities on both ends of the court. F.A. thoughts?
Yeah, Joe, if you come in here tomorrow screaming that Shadur Sanders should be taken at 3 by the Giants, I'm putting you on a weekend ban. I swear to God on my life, I am banning you until the draft is over, possibly until the next series is over.
100%. JD, what do you think about Hartenstein over 22.5 PRA?
That's not one that I really looked into, but it does make sense, though.
100%. I'm trying to pull up here to look at his exact stats from last game, so bear with me.
That's what I'm doing here.
Well, JD, I like where your head's at. Looks like we're on the save wavelength. Jeez, I can't get my words right today. Same wavelength. Same wavelength. I almost messed it up again. But I have it right here. Let's pull it up here. So Hartenstein in game 1 had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. So he beat that number in a blowout game where he only played 21 minutes. That's wild. And just going back, looking at this game, looking at the plus minus is so bad. It's so bad for the Grizzlies. You take a look. Chet Holmgren plus 25. Jalen Williams plus 44. Hartenstein plus 35. SGA plus 28. Lou Dort plus 22. Then you take a look at the bench. Kaysen Wallace plus 30. Aaron Wiggins plus 21. Alex Caruso plus 30. Jeez, it's embarrassing looking and seeing how bad they were for those first couple for that game. It's just bad. All right. I think we have our guy, Eitan. Eitan, we're going to bring you in. How are you, brother? Looking fresh in the car cam today.
Absolutely. Fellas, always a pleasure. Appreciate it. Just a little jam today. Was dealing with the internal, it's going around PA, like this bug last week. And then we thought my son had it. So I had to race to pick him up for school. And it's amazing, right? Like anytime a child gets sent home from school, he's only 4, he knows already, like, be sick until the parents pick you up. And now it's like, let's go to the park. Let's go to the toy store. Let's go everywhere that I'm not supposed to go when I'm sick. And the school won't let them back in tomorrow. So I'm ready to win some bets and take the Carolina Hurricanes tonight.
There we go. You must see. Unfortunately for Hefe,
I was listening, Hefe. I didn't know anything at all before I heard you.
Yeah, so now we know what to do.
I mean, the Canes are a minus 275 money line. So yeah, definitely don't take the Devils.
Alt line -3 on the Canes. We absolutely love it. JD, do you want to put on the screen here so we can go through a nice presentation we've planned for everybody? Because we've been telling you guys about the Odds Shopper Portfolio EV tools, and we want to make sure you guys are familiar and able to utilize this platform and best use it to your betting style. So JD, I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, man. What I was wanting us to do here is actually basically build one.
Yeah.
Because that's something we haven't actually really like gone through yet. So I was just wanting you actually on to kind of like help us, through actually that.
Yeah, it's a great process. It's an easy one as well. And I think the two biggest things, right, is just where do you live? What books can you bet? Right? Like that's the best and really only place to start. So I'm in PA, I'm limited at a bunch of spots. I'm basically at like FanDuel, can get volume down on DK, some other stuff, right? Like Onyx and Fliff, ProfitX, Novig, these exchanges. But it's not worth it for me to put a $1.50 down on BetMGM or other places. So I just create it where I live, wherever you are out there, and whatever book. So JD, if you want to do it like for where you are or anybody else specific, if you want to create like a hypothetical one or just go off for me and PA, whatever's easiest, I can walk you through it. But the two biggest things we need to do first is create the state and then go to the sports books.
Okay. Done there.
Okay, beautiful. So now, once you got your books in there, right? The biggest thing for us is leagues. So you're in North Carolina, you got DraftKings. By the way, if you go back to books, are other ones popping? See, so you can bet at all these other ones. So
Yes.
Fliff, Novig, Onyx, Rebet, nah, because they're really tough and they just offer stale lines or shitty lines, I should say, the opposite of that. But only in the sense of like humor me here, JD, right? Because I get it. Like the main books, no, but those other books, you can get around limits. Yeah, they're still not like official books. They're sweepstakes or creative books, what have you. But at least it's not like Unibet or Bet Rivers or something right like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good there. So we've got our books in there. Now I go back to leagues. And I want everything. Like I want the tools to do the majority of the work for me. And if you're new to this, or if you're just trying to figure out maybe the best analogy here, think of it like AI. If anybody out there is using AI, if it's Grok or any or ChatGPT or anything else to help create, it's all about the prompt. This is the prompt part. That's what the portfolio is doing. It's creating a prompt so that every time there are bets that come through, the machine knows bang, bang, bang. So I want everything. I want all of the books, or pardon me, the leagues available. And it's the same thing with bet.
Yep. Well, I think we have a minor interruption, guys. Hopefully, Aton will be back with us in just a moment. As you guys can see, he's in the mobile cam today helping us out. So, just a moment. I'm sure he'll be back and able to help us complete building this portfolio.
Yeah.
Odd shopper. Yeah,
there we go. We got you back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So you have leagues all, you have bets all there. Conservative is recommended. That's fine. You can leave that. Flat betting is what I do. It's what I recommend. Kelly is suggestive too, but it's tough to get around limits when you're limited at a couple of spots and not at others in Kelly. So I just use flat betting. The only other thing you guys have to touch, or anybody out there has to touch, is either OS rating or EV. They are not 1,000% interchangeable, and you can create different portfolios if you want, basically the same portfolio, and have OS rating 1 or EV rating 1, but you just need one is my point. You don't need both. So in this case, you have OS rating 2. That's fine. I would even dip it to 1. To be honest with you, JD, I would drop it to 1. I think 1 is a really good baseline. And that's the same if you wanted to do for EV. All right. So now you're on board. You're good to go. Hit view markets. So everything that's going to be returned is going to be what has been tracked as far as, plus EV, right? This is previous season. Let's go to current season. Sorry. All right. So look, you're in North Carolina. ProfitX may not be gigantic. We may not have a ton of NHL bets that pop in the NHL in the first place, right? But I want to make sure that I'm not returning anything negative. So just keep scrolling down, right? And you'll see this stuff is just that, it's flat. It's 0%, right? Because you don't have any of these market specific that have been tracked because they're new. Onyx is new, right? ProfitX is new. DraftKings, not as new, right? But if you go down on the DraftKings, go on the down arrow. So total bases, right?
Yep.
Like these are returning positive. So what I want is you can do the easiest thing is select anything now that you see that is green, because green is good and red is bad, right?
Always.
There we go. I don't know if that's ever the opposite.
Right.
Like, where in life is that not a good thing?
Maybe a roulette table. Depends what you bet.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Green is, if you're sitting on 0 or 00, you're going to be the enemy of the table real soon. But you're right.
Yeah.
So let's do that again, right? So let's look at the other ones are red. Okay, we don't necessarily want those.
Right.
But here's the other thing, right? That's if you want to get detailed. Since we're spared for time, and you've got things to do, and I've got things to do, kids and life and wife and husbands and moms and bosses, what have you. Sometimes it's the same person. You can just select everything. You can just go to the top, right? So if you go right up to the top, sportsbook, just select that. And you should see now everything is highlighted. That's returning something, right? So now we just did this. And I'll show you the end around, right? Go to Save Portfolio. By the way, we just created the portfolio. That's it.
Easy enough.
Yep. Create the portfolio. Now we're going to do one thing when we bring this portfolio back up. So you can get out of this and you can go back to top bets. It's crazy how easy this is.
Yeah.
Now you want to go to filter. This is the last thing. And again, you can hit me up. All of these guys know how to get me at Shander Bets. I'll walk you through it. Just so long as you use the MoneyBall Metrics code to sign up for Portfolio EV, I will walk you through everything. If I find out that you didn't, then we're going to have an issue where I can't help you. All right. Is that fair?
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
fair.
All right. So you see where it says on the bottom, show negative HROI bets? Get rid of that. Save filters. There you go. That's it. So what we've done is we've now prompted, even though we've selected initially this portfolio of every league and every bet within those leagues and anything you can look at that's returning anything, plus, minus, what have you, that last little filter is the line of defense that's going to ensure that nothing gets through the cracks. So now all of the books that we've selected, as you see, are returning plus EV bets. Some have some pretty strong documented HROI. Others are new, like an exchange, but they're still popping up as plus EV because of the ticket and the true odds. And that's all that you're looking to beat. The actual retail price, as we say all the time, just like Price is Right, the actual retail price of the ticket has to beat the true odds. And now you're in a plus EV mode. And look, you're getting a bunch of good stuff back right away. And it's not all on the exchanges, right? That one on Onyx is pretty damn good. Yeah, that's fantastic right there.
Yeah.
On DraftKings, yeah.
So you're in business. This is now your portfolio that we just created.
There we go. Easy enough.
Telling you guys, so much of this. Sorry, my face was hidden as I was looking at it. So much of this is just about the prompts. Right? Like now okay, just go ahead. And look, if you want to do the mass entry tool, right? You can just go to place mass bets on the bottom right and see how many pop up for you right there. I mean, look at that across the board. Each one of these buttons is going to take you to that site and auto-populate those bets in your slip.
Wow.
Couldn't be any easier.
So how many is that total that we have right there? 15, 23, 26, 20. I'm doing it from afar. Is that 40? No, that's a 6, not an 8. Sorry.
It's 38.
Yeah, 38. I missed the 6 and not the 8. 38 bets. It'll probably take you 18 seconds, if that.
Yeah.
Yep.
To place 38 bets. And look, volume, right? Like that's the key. You can't do this thing and bet. I mean, you can do this thing and bet 3 or 4 a night, but those are the originated plays. Those are the plays you guys are originating in the morning, and you're trying to beat the odds and you're trying to set before other people jump on there. That's taking the hour or whatever it takes from your practice and your time to generate, as you guys do, and speaking specifically to you three, where you generate successful, profitable bets. But that's why you're looking at, 3, 5, 10, what have you. In this case, it's like we know the tool is doing the work for us. We have to play 100, 150, as much volume as you can get, because variance is going to bite you far less in the ass, and you're going to see more profitable nights each night. So it's again, like, this is all hand in hand. You build your portfolio real quick, and then you just start pounding bets as much as humanly possible.
And like we said, guys, if anybody has any questions, hit us up. You can hit me up. You can hit JD up. You can hit Hefe up. You can hit Aton up, and we'll get you all set up for success with this fantastic product. And one more thing we want to let everybody know before I forget is that we do have a free 7-day trial to check it out. Guys, just check it out. It costs nothing. Give it a shot. Create a portfolio. Like I said, any help you need, we're all here to help you make that portfolio. Give it a chance, and I guarantee you guys will like the product and stay for more. So give it a shot. We have that free 7-day trial. Hit any of us up. We'll get you all set up for success.
So,
JD,
do you want me to show you how you can manually – look, let me say this. The tool will generate home runs. It's not often, right? Like every day you're going to see 50 home runs, but you'll see home runs. I mean, shit, yesterday Nick Castellanos was actually plus EV. Now, granted, he went from like 630 to I think like 0, right? Yeah. By the time they first pitched, because everybody on the planet was on him. But the point is that 1 point he was plus 630, and there was massive CLV for, granted, a losing bet. But the point is you will see these bets pop up. So my point is that you can, and maybe I'm sticky, so if you want to do it next week, that's fine. But you can manually find edge on home run bets. And I can show you that. If you want to tease it till next week, or if you want to do it now, I know I'm a little sticky here. But point being, though, is, fellas, that's available to you as well. Home run play. You want to build your plus EV home run lotto? You want to build your plus EV home run two-step? Whatever it is, you can do it manually with our tools, but you can't just line shop, because you won't know if that number, sure, it beats DraftKings and it beats BetMGM, but you won't know if that number beats the true odds. And that's where the subscription comes in handy.
Absolutely. And that's the best way, like we said. Just get in use the trial, guys. Get in there, try it, and see what we can build. JD, do you want to go over that quickly?
Sure. Yeah.
So, all right, this is the best part, right? These are the tools that are popping right from your built portfolio. And if you just want to remove, so if you go back, right, to more, you can go to live odds. I love this. This is what I do in the morning here, just to try to build it. So live odds, you're going to go to MLB, and you're going to go to player props. Above that, just above that. Total home runs. Okay. If you don't have PortfolioEV, give it time. People, we're getting later in the day. People are starting to wake up and search for home run bets.
So people are using it now.
Exactly. This is a great example. Just scroll down. You may have to internally scroll. There you go. Just scroll down. All right. So let's stop right there. Right. What was that? Volpe. Volpe is a great example, right? Like if you're just line shopping and you think, wow, I found Volpe at plus 1,000 over at ESPN. Look at this, man. He's 950, 900, whatever. You're thinking to yourself, great, you found a deal. But if you don't have PortfolioEV, all that stuff in the middle is blank. And you don't realize that, you didn't find a good deal. You just found the best of the sucker deals, because plus 1192 is what you should be paying. So if you keep scrolling down a little bit, JD, you'll start to see some of these numbers will actually be green. Some of these home run numbers will now, if you want to go full under parlay, that's available. That's always going to be around, especially on no vig. But you keep scrolling, and you'll start to see if it's there you go. Look, a 1% edge. Anybody who scoffs at a 1% edge, if it's a stock market, if it's DFS, or if it's betting, is an idiot, because this is going to compound over time. That right there, Matt McClain, is a plus EV home run bet on ESPN at that number specific. You keep going down, you'll see others. FanDuel's got the 50% profit boost, right? Maybe you really like a guy, you've spent an hour and a half originating, but shit, his number is below the true odds. Well, when you boost them 50%, guess what? Now that is a massive one. Cedric Mullins.
It's a good
Look,
one.
I don't understand this one. He's got 6 jacks on the year. he's hitting above what his metrics say he should be. So maybe people think like there's no way this is sustainable. But the launch angle, I think, like I get it. He's not smashing the ball from an EV hard hit percentage, but my God, he's already got 6 jacks. So even if he's just like wristing some of these balls over the fence, that's a massive edge on Cedric Mullins. In fact, I played him as my no sweat for tonight on DK right off the tools.
There we go. Easy enough. Now we're going to be rooting for that one.
Unless you've got the under or you're rooting against that team, and that's totally okay.
Very true. Very true. Very
Mitchell
true.
Parker K ladder or something, right?
If you're taking a Mitchell Parker K ladder tonight, I give anybody a ton of credit, because that's a tough one to get behind. But yeah, this is the best tool to find everything. You guys can see it's color coded. It couldn't be any easier. Can you guys see the colors? Green good, red bad, universally understood. You guys can see how easy this is.
Right.
And like we said, we have the trial.
Meat. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Cooking meat would not be something you'd want to see that color in. But yeah, anything else we want to show the guys, JD, before we let Aton get out of here? I know he has a super busy schedule today, so we don't want to
I'm happy to hang
too
guys,
much.
Really.
Oh, we appreciate that.
I believe that's all I had.
Awesome. Anything else you could think of sharing right now, Aton, with the platform until we have you on next time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just remember that there's help. Hit all 3 of these guys up. They understand the concept. They understand the tools. Hit me up at Shander Bets. This is new for a lot of people. The concept is new for a lot of people. The practice is new for a lot of people. Don't get frustrated. Even if you have a rough night, like, look, I'll show you my picket next time. We can go through this. I'm actually dealing with some variance this month, and it's not fun to look at. But the process is there. And I hate to say it because every single time I hear Joel Embiid's dumbass in my head, trust the process. But the reality is, and I'm in Philly, so I can get away with saying that shit. But the reality is that you do trust the process because the process has worked, and it's worked for me, and that's why I go back to it. So that's all.
100%. Well, we appreciate your time, bro. Really giving the people some great information, continuously helping us understand the platform even more so we can help the viewers out and make sure everybody can take advantage of this fantastic platform. So we really do appreciate your time and letting our viewers know all about the great platform.
Yes,
and guys.
Yes, and I should definitely shout out everyone because actually we still have over 1,300 people live here. So yeah, shout out to everybody.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. We told you we had a big surprise today, and Aton came in, as he always does. He delivered, showing you guys how to make even better. It's all right. You showed the people how to make even more money, and that's the most important thing. So we really do appreciate you.
See you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Sir.
We will definitely have him back soon. We will help get him out of here because I'm sure clicking out of here on a phone would be a disaster. So we'll help get him off the stage. JD, one more thing I want to do. Before we go over everything, because Aton did a fantastic job, I just want to put the best bets graphic on the screen one more time for everyone. That is not correct. That is yesterday. So we do not have a best bets graphic today ready to go. So one more time, let's quickly go over what the best bets were for the show. Hefe, what were your best bets one more time today for today's slate?
Padres money line, Lakers -5.5.
For me, Lakers -5.5, and the Mets money line. JD, what were your best bets for the day again?
Jaden McDaniels over 5.5 rebounds and Padres money line.
Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. Well, let's have an absolutely massive day today. We have a big show tomorrow, a big week, NFL draft, NBA playoffs. Some people care about the NHL playoffs. I don't, but if you like that, I'm happy you get to watch that. So, JD, any parting words for the people before we get out of here today?
Tonight's another good slate, guys.
Really is.
Another really good slate. So let's just fucking win, guys.
Let's fucking win. I'm excited for tonight's slate. Hefe, any parting words for you?
Let's get it, guys. Like JD said, great slate. Little mixture of baseball, play of basketball, play of hockey, and super excited for. Yes, MoneyBall metrics VIP. Gotta get
you really threw Hefe off for a curveball there with a nice compliment. We appreciate it.
At first, I didn't understand what the 1,300 meant. Like, I thought I had no idea, actually, but he's talking about the viewer count. I'm here. I'm paying attention. Excited for tonight. Great game. Tomorrow, we got a draft special. Super pumped for that. And, that tool that Aton was talking about, that EV tool, man, I mean, if you have the bankroll and you could just set it and forget it plays and know that you're compounding, making money just because you're beating closing lines, That's how you win consistently, in my opinion.
I agree. So we'll have more to come. Aton will be back, and we'll be breaking it down as we go on with this show as well. Everyone, have a fantastic evening. Let's cash all of our bets. And as the greatest of all time once said, let's fucking win. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Later, guys.